Alright guys, this is the man. This is Jeff. I've talked about him before in the previous vlogs. He is the man that runs this. He's the original guy. So I just wanted him to explain a little bit on kind of where this came from and how it became what it is today, because it's a lot bigger than what it started with. So it started with the Honda scene, right? You guys know the Honda scene?
So believe it or not, it actually predates the Honda scene.
Oh!
So back in the early 2000s, how old were you back in the early 2000s? 2002, how old were you, River?
Oh my gosh, 6?
So,
yeah.
starting 2002, I was part of a club called Team Technic.
Oh,
still rep them on the car.
With these guys?
Nope, these guys actually were not.
Okay, these guys are not in it yet.
So,
Elite Rides.
Elite Rides. Anyways, so Technic was a big deal kind of back in the early mid 2000s, and as they brought up, we were all on a website called Elite Rides, and Technic was really tight with Elite Rides, and we did what's called a birthday barbecue in 2005, and it was a celebration of Team Technic. We were turning 3 years old.
Okay.
We invited Elite Rides out to have a meet as well, and it was about 20 cars at Barnes Park in Kaysville.
Okay.
So that was the first year. We did it in March, and it became an annual thing. We did it again in 2006. Well, in 2007, that's where this guy comes into the picture here.
We started Utah Acura's because we were sick of the admins on Team Integrity because they were dicks.
Pretty much. So this is Ran. He's been my partner in all of this from the beginning.
Ran's the man.
He's the only other person on our staff today that's been there from the beginning. Most of them trickled in like a year, maybe 2 years later, but Ran's been there from the start. He started Utah Acura's with me, and we eventually grew that into Utah Hondas, which at the peak of forums in 2012, 2013-ish, we were the largest automotive forum in Utah. I mean, people loved Utah Hondas because everybody would just go and BS basically.
Yeah, and we'd have Subaru show up to our meets and shit.
Yeah.
So we really did.
So we wanted to do our first ever meet, our first ever get together spring meet. So I was like, hey, we already did this Technic thing. How about we turn it into this Utah Honda or Utah Acura's thing at that time?
Okay.
And so we did, and we ended up putting that. It became our annual spring meet that we did for 6 years, and it grew to the point of going to the largest part of area in Barnes Park. And the 6th year that we did it will always be a memorable year, especially for Rand, because he got to deal with the Kaysville City
Police department.
police chief.
Oh.
I thought I was gonna go to jail.
Yeah,
I can see that.
so
I can see it.
Their parking lot only held about 250 cars.
Gotcha.
We had over 400 cars show up.
Oh,
Up and down the street.
Up and down the street, a mile in each direction.
In the industrial park.
In the industrial, people driving like idiots because I mean it's the Honda scene, so that's happened.
And the city of Kaysville only had 2 police officers on duty at the time.
Oh.
And so basically, they let us finish the event, but basically they said, you can't do this again. You know, you have to have permits when you have this many people. So
Yeah, and they got word that Utah Highway Patrol was saying there's way too many cars driving like idiots also. Contacted Kaysville PD. They found out that all that was going on, gave us the rundown, said, hey, you need a VIP permit, you need bathrooms, all that shit, blah, blah, blah. So we decided to eventually transition to what we now know as Airport Spring Showoff.
Exactly. So we hit a decision there where it was, do we stop doing this because we can't do it anymore, or do we transition this into something bigger? Jerry here, he was actually with us for about the last 4 years of the Utah Honda Spring Meets.
Okay.
And so that's when he came on board, and he was our grill guy. He ran the grill. We didn't have food vendors. He grilled burgers all day, and we sold them for like $1. Like, that's what we did. And so we're like, hey, let's do this real. Let's make this something unique. Let's make it something different. Let's make a hybrid event that's a show, but it's still kind of a meet. We're not in this for us. We're going to do it. We want to keep our expenses low to make sure we still get a ton of people to come out and support. We rented the Legacy Event Center, which is where Straight Fest takes place now.
Oh, okay.
And
Farmington?
in Farmington. Okay. And I still remember, like, we sold 150 paid parking, or 250 paid parking, or 200 spots we sold, I think, that year.
So was that the first year of
That was
ISS?
the first year of ISS.
Okay.
It was
In
just,
fact,
it was just a cover rental of the venue.
we didn't
Gotcha.
even have a name for it when we rented the venue. Like, we came up with our name like just weeks before. So we threw this event, and we were like, oh, you know, maybe 5 years from now it would be cool to have like 1,000 cars. And Legacy had, at the time, that big parking lot Straight Fest used, that didn't exist. We only had the smaller lot.
Okay.
And so we're like, okay, well, we got a few years until we outgrow this. Well, guess what? We outgrew that our first year.
Oh, yeah,
So,
Okay.
But we signed a 2-year agreement with them, so we came back the second year.
Okay, that was the second.
And completely, that year we only sold half that little parking lot for paid parking. We did paid parking for all of it that year, so we did 400 spots. Outgrown that, so the idea was then, well, where can we go that's bigger? Maverick Center.
Okay.
So Maverick Center was
third year.
really when I feel that the event really stepped up, was when we transitioned to the Maverick Center. Still the same idea, we wanted to have, keep our costs as low as possible. Tons of cars, tons of sponsors. Everyone just come out and have a lot of fun.
And more centralized location for everybody throughout the Wasatch Front.
Yeah, that's true.
And that was a lot of fun. We actually had a lot of good times at the Maverick Center. The venue is really well set up for what we wanted to do.
The only thing that sucked was renting trash cans and cleaning them out.
That is true. I remember that. I remember running around.
Because I was the one who had to wash them all.
Yeah, we used to have to rent a U-Haul to get all the miscellaneous stuff, which a facility like this takes care of. So
that is the bonus.
It was kind of, after our third year at Maverick Center, it was kind of a bummer type deal. I actually spoke to them, and there were some current concerns with people acting like idiots when they left.
Okay.
And West Valley City just didn't want to give us a consideration since they're the one who owned the Maverick Center.
They really just didn't care much for us.
You're probably just more of an annoyance.
I don't know. It was just they wouldn't give us a date till 60 days in advance. And can you imagine trying to plan an event 60 days in advance?
Well, after working it, no.
So anyways, we were planning last year in 2018, we were planning on going back to Maverick. They gave us dates, they did everything. 3 times they pulled our date from us.
Yeah.
And finally, after the 3rd time they pulled the date, we decided, you know what, enough's enough. We're not gonna continue playing Maverick Center's game. It's their loss if we leave. So we did. We left. There's rumors that they kicked us out.
Really?
Let me just say that those rumors aren't true. They never said, ISS, we don't want you here, get out of here.
Yeah.
But just based on their actions, it was very clear just with how difficult they were to work with that they probably didn't want us there.
Yep.
So we said, okay, let's see what other options we have. We actually found about 3 or 4 different options where we were gonna move the event to, until Ran and Jerry one evening decided, you know what, let's go talk to UMC, let's see what they have to offer. And they invited us with open arms last year, and we worked out the deal with they wanted to work with us. We worked out a deal to get the drifters. The drifters had actually, from the first year we were at the Maverick Center, seeing that huge lot, they were like, is there any way we can do drifting at ISS? We would love to do drifting. And we're like, insurance reasons? No, not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But when we came here, we know it's a completely different ballpark. We're like, asked them, we're like, what's the possibility of getting drifting? And they were all for it.
Okay.
So we did it, and the rest is history. I mean, we just did the 2019 event.
So how many years at Maverick Center? 2?
We were at the Maverick Center for 3 years.
Okay, and
Taking off.
Thanks, Ben.
See you guys.
See you
Thanks so
guys.
much.
Yeah, we were at the Maverick Center for 3 years.
Okay, and then did I help out the 2nd year being
Yes.
there? Okay. Which was the first year that I helped out with ISS, was the 2nd year of them being there. We did 2 years there, and then we moved here.
Yeah, you were just a
and this
wee
is the
little kid
4th.
at the time.
Yeah, I remember.
A little kid.
Yeah, I'm still a little kid. I'm just kidding. But
We're just getting old.
and now
We are just getting old.
now you moved here though. This is huge. This is a huge upgrade. Coming here the first year, and then Jeff always talks about one up in the event every year by something.
So and we always try to introduce, there's always something new that we always introduce, and I think the biggest thing that will stand out about kind of what we introduced this year was our People's Choice Award, where we gave an award where we let the public 100% decide it, March Madness bracket style.
Not to mention some other unique awards such as doing it for the gram.
Yep.
Doing it for the gram. I saw that one and it made me smile.
Sorry, Julius. Kind of had to, bro.
Well executed.
But no, we had a lot of fun with kind of changing up some of our awards and stuff this year, and it was really cool. Like I said during the awards, the People's Choice thing kind of became my baby, and it was fun to watch because it was just like March Madness. There were upsets happening left and right in that freaking competition.
Yeah.
So
How does a 90s Accord beat an NSX?
Yeah, that those votes were all over the place.
I'm still a little upset about that.
Those votes were all over the place. I would have to agree.
But no, it was awesome, and we're excited to see as we work with UMC to see what we can potentially bring to the facility next year, because we will be back here next year, and
ISS
hopefully
2020.
we don't have that as a worry next year.
I
Oh,
want to
yeah.
add something really quick.
Yes, definitely.
So I just talked to the facility manager, and they actually opened up and talked to me personally, and they said that they are already looking at booking us again for next year. Today. So she said we've already booked Portia for next year, and so we're looking. She's like May, June, depending on the facility and how things are worried out. So they definitely want us to come back because they were well impressed. And something I actually talked about earlier this month was this is going to be our year that defines who we are and what we're about.
Last year we kind of
Last
called
year
it
was make or
our
break.
rebirth year. We were, with all the issues we had with Maverick Center, we had some staffing issues, there were some other issues that were going on. We really did consider 2018 being the
Possible last year.
swan song, the final
I
one.
remember that. I remember
And
the stress level.
we decided, you know what, let's see how this works with UMC, and we'll decide from there. And it was fun again after last year. And this year, let me tell you something. Having 3 years at Maverick where we only had 60 days to plan an event. Last year, we only had 45 days to put an event together in a brand new facility.
6 months this year.
We had about 5 months this year
Yeah.
to plan this event.
And we procrastinated a lot.
We did.
Bad.
But at the same time, the stress level was so much less than it's
Oh.
been in the past.
We
And-
procrastinated because we didn't really care, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, it's kind of, as long as it's fun again, that's what we at ISS will continue doing it as long as it stays fun for us.
Yeah.
And cheap.
And
cheap.
you know,
the flow, getting everyone into the Maverick Center was chaos. So coming here that first year, was a huge bonus for you guys. That was huge. It was just fluent. Everything came in smoothly. Everyone got checked in. So that was awesome for that to be able to come right through here and everything.
so
Don't you
well,
think?
yeah, everything, the flowers were very well. In fact, I talked to the manager too, and she was very impressed with our structure and how well we got people in here.
This was easily probably the best year we've had checking people in.
This is the best year period. Everything everything just went together really well.
Except
You know,
for spectator parking because
Well-
people don't know how to park.
minor casualties, with things, but minus the weather, I was actually, people aren't going to come because of the weather. It rained and people stayed, so and people were still coming.
Barely sprinkled.
Well, I get that.
It started
I get
raining
that.
a little heavy, actually. I was kind of getting worried. I got the weather app going up, and I've directed people looking at the weather, trying to vlog.
But the best part is you can definitely tell how much our shows have grown. Where
And how much the community actually cares.
and they really like coming to it. For months, even after we're done, people talk about it for months on end, going into the next year. Oh, what are you going to bring next year? How are we going to do this for my car? How do you pick my car? Stuff like that.
One of my favorite things, and this is just with the increase of social media, it seems like every year social media gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't do Instagram stories, Facebook stories, things like that, but I obviously run the Instagram ISS account, and I couldn't believe how many tags we were getting in stories over the last week of people being like, rushing to get done for ISS. I gotta get done for ISS.
Hashtag ISS prep.
And it was just so cool to be, we've already had 2 other big events in the local community, but ISS is the event that people set a lot of times for their build deadlines. We're the event that they want to show off their event, and it was obviously a bigger deal when our event was in April or in even March, but instead of June. But still, it was awesome to see how many people were like, I gotta get my car done, excited to get my car done for ISS.
Much of it just also has to do with the fact that we're just a common man's event. I mean, we don't just cater to stands. We've had literally everything.
Yeah, look at all the cars we awarded today.
Trucks, cars,
And we
overlanders,
did
vehicles.
everything.
Yeah.
All types of build types win.
Yeah, that's
at,
right.
at ISS.
You guys are very diverse on your.
So,
I think everyone had a good time with the new awards that we actually added, the specialty awards, and they were just fun, And
And it's also a low-key troll from us.
Yeah.
Sorry, Julian. I'm just saying.
It was good. So I had a
But
good
we'll
time.
see, we wanted to see, kind of test how well those 5 went over this year, and we might expand them next year. Do a few more of those if people like those kind of more down to earth, because a lot of, there's a lot of trophy chasers out there who only go to events because they want to be the winner of that trophy. So, and we've
There's a lot
got
of
those,
money for
but
that,
at
though.
the same time, it's just like, let's have some fun. Let's do some joke awards. And that's really what the idea of them came from, was let's do some joke awards.
Yep. All right. Well, that is the staff interview, the original Jerry, Rand, and Jeff themselves, guys. I'm glad you guys got to meet them and hear the backstory. That's gonna have to do it for this, though. Until next time, guys. Peace out.